The evening show is brought to you in association with ExecutiveTaxis.ie, Dublin's #1 online executive taxi company.
Hi there, welcome along to the evening show. On the programme this evening, Miriam Kerins from the SPCA will be here telling us how we can look after our pets on those long summer holiday drives. And also psychologist Susanna Heady will be here talking about how we can cope with anxieties in our life. Stay with us on the evening show. Now, many of you might be lucky enough to be travelling around this summer in your car, either in Ireland or on the continent or wherever else. And lots of us don't like to be separated from our little pet pooch, and you might want to bring the pet pooch with you. So Miriam Kerins from the SPCA is here to tell us how we can look after our little pets on holidays. Miriam, you're very welcome indeed.
Thank you very much.
And who is this?
This is Angel. And
Angel is checking out the studio.
She's having a look around.
Oh, you're a lovely doggy. Yeah,
come up here, Angel. Come up and sit down. Good girl. So this is Angel. She's a Staffordshire Bull Terrier. And she's 3 years old, and she's absolutely fantastic. And she travels really well in the car.
Great. She's not looking for a home or anything like that?
No, Angel actually has a really good home, don't you, darling? Oh, see, she has a really good home.
Right.
But we have 4 Staffordshire Bull Terriers up at the shelter, exactly like Angel, different colours, but exactly like Angel, all looking for a good home.
Now,
and they're fantastic dogs.
Okay, why are they fantastic dogs? Because they look a bit dodgy to me. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, look, she looks... No, she's beautiful, I know she
is stunning, aren't you? Hear what he's saying about you.
The pink eyes and the white head.
Look at this.
She's not dangerous, is she?
She's not.
No.
She's not dangerous. You see, it's... You know, it's breed that people give out about, but it's really the deed as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
All dogs should be given to responsible owners. All owners should keep their dogs under effective control, and that's every breed. And that includes the Pomeranian and the Yorkshire Terrier and the Jack Russell, as well as the Staffy and the Pit Bull. Angel would be on a restricted breed list, and that means that a responsible owner should muzzle her when out in public. And that's basically it. But you can see, you know, she's well trained. She's a beautiful animal. Yeah. She's extremely placid and friendly. And, you know, all dogs should be like Angel. She's a fantastic dog. And it's just the fact that some people are irresponsible. And that's why these dogs have a bad name, but they're excellent dogs. Okay.
Now, the last time you were on, you had Carlos the Lurcher with you.
Carlos
and Carlos was looking for a home.
Yes, and Carlos found a home. He found a fantastic family, and he's now extremely happy with that family. And sometimes they bring him back to the shelter just to visit us and say hello. So he got a really good home thanks to being on here.
And just to get on the record, there are a few of those available if anybody's tempted.
Yes, we have 4 Staffies exactly like Angel at the shelter from varying age groups. Angel is 3. But our youngest Staffy at the shelter would be Bubblegum, who's amazing, and she's 1.5 years, and she's looking for a good home as well. Okay.
Now, we're talking about people who have prize pooches, and they can't be separated from them on holidays, and they want to bring them on those long summer drives. Is that a wise thing to do, first of all, to bring your dog with you?
It's only wise if you're able to cope with it, and if you're happy to bring your dog and to put in the extra time. If you're not happy to do that, then my suggestion is find an excellent boarding kennels for your dog. And we have a fantastic boarding facility up at the shelter as well, if anyone's interested. But I have 4 dogs, and they go everywhere with me. So you need to make preparation. You need to, when I say include your dog in the planning, you don't ask the dog, do they want to go? But what you do is you sit down and you make out a plan of how this holiday is going to best facilitate you and the dog, because there's no point in putting extra stress onto you and the animal.
No.
You need to go to the vet. You need to make sure that the dog has a clean certificate of health at least 14 days in the lead up to the holiday. De-flea, deworm the dog. Make sure all the vaccinations are up to date. If the dog is going to be in contact with other dogs, make sure it has kennel cough as well. Ask your vet, tell your vet where you're going, and ask them if there are any parasites associated with the destination that you're going to.
Right.
If you're taking kids as well as dogs on holidays, make sure that the kids are not going to irritate or tease the dog in the back of the car. It's not fair to the dog. So children should be kept under effective control as well. And I say that as a mother and a grandmother.
Oh my God, what a glamorous grandmother we have on the sofa today. Now, the only thing I would say, apart from all those more serious things you're saying, I can even see with Angel in her short time with us here, she's a little bit bored. So dogs in the back of the car are going to get flipping bored, aren't they?
They will get bored in the car, so make sure you bring plenty of toys for them to play with and a favourite blanket for them to play with as well. Also, it's very important to secure them in the car, so put a harness on them and a seat belt. But if your dogs are like my dogs, they'll chew through the seat belt. So I would suggest a pet carrier. If you're carrying a cat, always have it in a pet carrier. You'd be mad to carry a cat unless it's in a carrier. Yeah. Don't let the dog look out the window. There's a danger that, you know...
mean head out the window?
Head out the window. Yeah. Keep the windows open to let air circulate. But if you have the dog's head out the window, you're going fast in the car, there's flying objects can get into the dog's eyes.
And they love that though, don't they?
They do love it, but it's not good for them. It's not necessarily good for them, you know.
Now, if you're driving somewhere like on the continent, in France or whatever, and you're on those long roads, you can drive straight roads for hundreds of miles, is it safe or is it wise to take little breaks for the dog as well as for the kids?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
First of all, before you go to France, you must get a rabies shot for the dog, at least 6 to 8 weeks beforehand. You don't need that for the UK, but you do for France or, you know, other countries where rabies are still prevalent. I would drive for no more than 2 hours at a time, and then I would make a rest stop. So I would plan along the route, and I would make sure that there were rest stops for the dogs and restaurants that you could bring the dogs into. Now, in Ireland, there's not many restaurants you can bring the dogs, but I find going to the UK, they're very pet friendly, and lots of pubs and restaurants will allow you to bring your dogs in once the dogs behave. So make sure your dog has basic training so that it will at least behave when you go into a restaurant.
And would you carry water in the car?
I would definitely carry water in the car, and I would make sure it was water from my own tap, water that the dog is used to. If the dog is used to bottled water, well, you know, and you'd be mad to get your dog used to bottled water because you'd need a lot of money, but I would bring that, but, you know, that particular brand, but always water from the tap. Always bring plenty of blankets, plenty of paper towels, a first aid kit for the dog, and I would make sure that I had things like a tweezers in it in case you have to take an object out of the dog's paw, cotton buds that you would, you know, you could put a bit of olive oil onto the end of it to maybe clean the dog's ear. Make sure that you have plenty of tissues. I would also find out where the local vet is where I'm travelling to. If you can't find that out, I would ask my own vet at home here for a prescription for maybe fusithalmic eye drops or Canurel ear drops that I could get filled on the continent in the unlikely event that the dog does come down with an ear or an eye infection.
And is dog food universal? Well, the same brands everywhere?
The same brands are everywhere. I would bring my own dog food because I feed my dogs a very pure diet of a specific brand. So I would make sure that I brought that with me. But generally they are available abroad because if you're going to change your dog food, you do not want to travel in a car with a dog who may have an upset tummy. It's unpleasant for the dog and definitely for the person cleaning up.
Do you know, with everything you were saying there and all the trouble and all the hassle to do it right, I would prefer to put my dog in lodgings.
In a kennel,
I think I could be separated from my beautiful dog for a week or two or 3
Well, you
weeks.
see, that's the whole point. If you don't think you're able for all of this, and believe me, I would travel with dogs before I would travel with children. But
we've all been there.
If you don't feel you're able to do this, well, definitely a good boarding kennels is what you need to do. But you need to check the boarding kennels out beforehand.
Okay. And there's another thing that should be on your list as well, and I think you have them there. And they are treats.
Definitely dog treats, absolutely. But not too many while you're travelling because it could make the dog sick.
No. Does Angel like the odd treat?
Angel loves the odd dog treat. And she may do a little trick for us. She may speak. Angel?
Angel, you having a good sleep there?
Do you see how relaxed she is? Angel?
Yeah.
Okay. Speak. Speak. Angel, speak. Speak. Good girl. Good girl.
Miriam, thank you very much indeed for coming.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much.
Great. Now, Stables is going to take a short break, and after that we'll be coping with anxieties with psychologist Susanna Healy. Join us for that.